Namaste, friends, and welcome to day 19 of our 30-day meditation transformation program. Today, I wanted to talk about some of the more trippy experiences that some of you might be having or that you might experience later on in your meditation path. But before I talk about these psychedelic experiences, I want to say that they're not something to be looked for, okay? Often when we look for things or we have expectations, we don't end up experiencing them and we end up maybe missing out on the experiences we are having. Okay, so just take all of these as possibilities, not necessarily destinations or something that you should be striving for. I just want to bring some context to these experiences in case some of you are experiencing them. So sometimes when we go deep inside of ourselves, we really come to that state of presence. We can experience different things that one could describe as psychedelic or trippy or out of body. I remember one of my first experiences like this in a yoga retreat. I felt like I was ascending out of my body and floating. When you read, the Yoga Sutra or a lot of ancient texts, they talk about all of these mystical powers that can come from the yogic practice, what are known as Siddhis. Siddhi means perfection. Accomplishment. And in fact, that's what Siddhasana is. Siddhasana is the perfect pose or the accomplished pose. And one of those Siddhis, one of those psychic abilities is levitation. And I remember thinking in this experience, very gently thinking, because I was really being present with my meditation, but the mind is still able to go around. And I was thinking, is this levitation ability? Maybe it's just the perception of levitation rather than actual levitation. But that can be something that you experience. You can experience all sorts of physical sensations that are not necessarily happening to your physical body. You can feel weight being pulled down on you as if you're being dragged down into the earth. Like me, you can feel as if you're floating up into the heavens. You can feel expansive, you can feel vibrating, you can feel like your whole body is shaking. And all of these experiences are experiences that are happening not necessarily to the physical body, but to some of the more subtle bodies, such as the energetic body, the pranic body, or the emotional or mental body, which we can also call the astral body. Because these bodies don't have as much defined shape, especially the astral body doesn't have as much defined shape as the physical body. So it's able to float and move, and that's why if you just imagine something, you can start to bring in emotional states. You can project your mind to the house you grew up in when you were a child, even though your physical body is not there. So in states of meditation, when we really relax the physical body, and when we really relax the energetic body, we can become more aware of these more subtle bodies, the emotional body or the mental body. And this is when we can have this experience of astral projection or more psychedelic experiences. We can start to have visions within the mind that are something beyond our ordinary thought patterns. When we relax the more primitive, more primal, or more kind of programmed, regular processing part of the mind. This is when we can expand into that more abstract, more subtle aspect of the mind where intuition and inspiration and all of these arise from. Because, like we said yesterday, the mind's constantly churning over these same thoughts and really mundane, material kind of thoughts about work and relationships. But when that settles, when we really purify, and when I say purify, I mean relax that part of the mind, we can tap into this higher mind. And this is when the practice becomes psychedelic. Psychedelic means consciousness expanding. So we can start to become conscious of the more subtle part of the mind, known as the Vijnana Maya Kosha, or the psychic body. The intuition. And when we can touch this, the thoughts, the images that we experience can seem quite abstract. And I really encourage you to be aware of, as we're going in and as everything's slowing down, when those mundane thoughts kind of fade away, what is coming for you? What kind of visions are coming for you? Still not to be, oh, I'm having visions of the stars in space, or I'm having visions of other lifetimes. Just to witness, Because we, all of us, you, me, everybody, we are so tapped in with the vibrations around us. They're always there. Time and space are not really real. They're just like our average experience. But when we settle the more material parts of the body and the more material parts of the mind, we can access these higher, finer vibrations and have so many beautiful experiences. I mostly just wanted to say this as a little bit of inspiration, because we can go beyond just healing and relieving anxiety, and we can really have very high insights. We can really find deep truths about the meaning of this life and the fabric of reality. And also, if you are experiencing any of these sort of events, they're normal, they're natural, and it's nothing to be worried about. If you feel like, oh, I feel like I'm falling in meditation, or I feel like my body's fading away. Again, they can be a little bit terrifying, because we're stepping into the realm of the unknown. When we go into the astral, if we're so used to being in our physical body, those first steps outside can be a bit scary, or they can make you feel, nauseous. So any of these experiences, completely normal. You're doing great. Not something to be looked for or pursued, but rather to be surrendered into if they're happening. Okay? I think that's enough. I hope it wasn't too crazy stuff that Andrew's talking about today. But let's get ready for our meditation. So our meditation today, again, will be going into that space between the thoughts. This is why I wanted to talk about this sort of space, astral projection today, because sometimes when we go into that space, even for a moment, it can feel like, I'm gone, I'm out of this. So again, just be really focusing on that space between the breath. We're going to be performing, as always, it's completely optional, but I'm going to be suggesting for us to perform today Swastikasana. So we will start with the legs open wide. So we will start with the left leg. We will bring the left leg in, and then we will bring the right leg over and set it on top of the left. So option one, we got two options for Swastikasana, is you just set the foot in the crease, and the lower foot is in the crease. So you've got the feet just sitting in the crease of the knees, between the thigh and the calf. If you want to go into the full version, you can extend the left leg just a little bit, tuck the right toes in, and then you can pull the right toes up into the left. So you've got that energy locked in. Still a nice space here in front of the pelvis. So it should be nice and open. Of course, take any questions. I think you got that down by now. And let's get ready for our meditation. So sitting nice and tall, pressing the seat down, reaching the crown of the head up, finding that length, verticality, awareness. Hands on the knees, palms down if you feel you need the ground, palms up if you feel you need to lift your spirit. Shoulders back and down, close the eyes. Take a deep inhalation through the nose. Open the mouth and sigh it out. Soften the body. Soften the mind. Again, deep inhalation. Open the mouth, sigh it out. Feel those vibrations massaging the nervous system, bringing you deeper inside into the state of presence. One more time, nice big breath. Inhale. Even more, and let it go. Sitting with the eyes closed, attention inside. Start to bring your awareness to the flow of respiration, in and out through the nose. Feel the breath flowing in, the breath flowing out, being fully aware of the flow of the breath. Allow each breath to relax the body, each breath to relax the mind, coming deeper and deeper into a state of presence with the breath. And as everything calms down, the mind becomes quiet. Start to bring extra awareness to the space between the breath. The momentary pause after inhalation when the breath is held within. The momentary pause after exhalation when the breath is empty. Be fully aware of the breath flowing in and out, and be extra aware of that space between the breath. Whenever you notice the mind starting to wander, gently note to yourself, I'm thinking, I'm coming back. And come back to witnessing the breath, witnessing the space between the breath. the space between the breath. Sitting with the eyes closed, attention inside, feeling the connection with your body. Reflect on the experience of meditation and notice how often were you in the body? How often were you in the mind? How often were you in the space between the breath? Whatever your experience, you did perfect. Take this final moment to say thank you to yourself for taking the time and effort to focus on your health, your well-being, presence, and peace of mind. It's a great gift you've given yourself, and ultimately, you've given to the world. Thank you. Take a deep inhalation into the heart. And as you exhale, gently coming back. So again, I can say thank you so much for joining me. Hope you enjoyed this practice. Let me know in the comment section how it was for you. If you have any questions about anything we discussed or about how the practice is evolving for you, I always love to hear from you. It really is my favorite. Have a beautiful day, guys. Namaste.